Where do true Scousers come from? It's not Liverpool, no, it's Birkenhead. And this is where this beer's from. It is Glen Affric Brewery's Field of Creams. It's a cream soda pale ale at 4.5%. But what's this beer all about? And how do we explain the true location of a Scouser? Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're heading up to Birkenhead, just at the top of the Wirral, not far away from me at all. And this brewery here, the Glen Affric Brewery, they're quite a big brewery, they're quite well known. Certainly if you're local to the sort of Liverpool and Wirral areas, you probably would have heard of them. This is a Field of Creams, cream soda pale ale, 4.5%. I'm sure I've had this beer many years ago, before I was really into craft beer. So I'm interested to see whether, and I remember it being good, a good cream soda pale ale. So I'm seeing what this one's like and see what it's all about. But before we do that, you may have saw in the intro that I was telling you that a true Scouser is actually from Birkenhead and not Liverpool. Now, a lot of people be going, no, there'll be a lot of Liverpudlians going, no, a true Scouser is born in Liverpool, lives in Liverpool, has a purple bin. You need to be local to understand that one. Within sight of the Liver building, all that sort of stuff. But the history actually goes where back in the day, I don't know how far, we're talking about hundreds of years ago, Birkenhead on the Wirral, it was actually covered in birch trees. And it was actually, the area was called Birchwood, and that obviously later became, or Birchhead I should say, and later that became Birkenhead, hence the name. And this was where all the wealth was really. And if you cross the Mersey to Liverpool, it was literally just fields, there was nothing there. But the monks from Birkenhead, or which was Birchhead, went over to there. They set up little settlements, and they basically, people there claimed the name Scouser, and that's where it's all about. I mean, obviously you can also have people saying, well, Scouser is derived from the food scouse. If you've ever had scouse, it's like a sort of mince, corned beef or lamb mince with sort of vegetables and potatoes as a sort of like I suppose it's a bit like a stew really. You've got to be from Liverpool or Birkenhead, the Wirral, to know more about that sort of stuff. I'm just a foreigner really in Northern Shores. But enough of the history for today. Let's get into the beer. So let's crack this open, get it in a glass and see whether it's going to be this great cream soda flavour. I mean, I think last beer that I had, which was a cream soda pale ale, was from Tightrope Brewing, and it wasn't that great. So we'll see if this one's better. I mean, beer in a glass, you can see here, it looks very, very light. It's not really, it's almost see-through there. You've got a slight haze, but you can still see me through there. Lots of carbonation. It looks very similar to a lager, really. Yeah, let's see what it smells like. There's certainly a sort of lager, malty sort of aroma to it, but there is a little subtleness of sweetness, a little bit of that. It's just a little bit of sweetness. I wouldn't call it cream soda-esque, but let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Tastes pretty good. If you like cream soda, you like it because there's lots of cream soda flavours in it. It is very similar to a sort of a lager with a real sort of cream soda edge to it. Yeah, it's really nice actually, really refreshing. It's got a real sweet creaminess, but a lot of the time, and certainly if I remember with that type, the Top Rope brewing, it was a little bit of it was very artificial tasting. Now this sort of very sort of weird sweetness in this, but this tastes very much like cream soda, and it doesn't ruin the beer. The beer still tastes pretty good. Still getting that maltiness. You're still getting that lager-esque sort of flavour. I mean, it's almost, I think because it's quite sweet, and actually it's very sweet for a lager. It almost has a more of a sort of a sort of shandy flavour to it, because it doesn't taste very strong. It doesn't taste very beer-like, really, I suppose. It's got that sort of shandy sort of flavour because of the sweetness in there, but there's definitely, the sweetness is cream soda. And I think if you like cream soda and you like beer, then this is a pretty good combination, I'd say. Really drinkable, really refreshing, but that little bit of sweetness in it just makes it a little bit different and a little bit more. You know, if you've had a lot of beers and you're getting a lot of those sort of heavy flavours and you want something light and a little bit sweet, this is a great sort of palate cleanser for me. I mean, this, again, it's another one of those beers, pale ales. You know, you should be drinking them in the summertime. In the winter, you know, that it almost feels wrong to be drinking them. But I want to get back to the summer already. You know, I'm sick of the freezing cold. I'm sick of the darkness. I want to go to the summer. And this one brings me back a little bit. Barbecue beer, this is. It's quite good, actually. And it's definitely a better one than the other cream soda beer I've had. So Glen Affric Brewery, I mean, they do quite a lot of beers. I haven't had many from them, but they're quite a big brewery, and certainly on the Wirral they are very well known. Field of Creams, cream soda, pale ale, something a bit different. Let's get some scores. So the scores are in for Field of Creams. It's a cream soda pale ale, hence the sort of, it should be Field of Dreams, but the creams bit because it's cream soda. Glen Affric, Wirral, Birkenhead Brewery. Yeah, this isn't too bad, actually. I mean, it could be a mess of a beer, but actually I think that it's a very nicely balanced, clean pale ale with a very sort of creamy cream soda sort of flavour. That vanilla sort of creaminess is in there, but it's balanced enough that it doesn't taste too artificial. It still tastes like a good, clean, crisp pale ale. So let's go through the scores. So firstly, aroma. Well, when you first opened it, it's definitely a lot of maltiness in there, you know, from a lager sort of base, but it's quite clean sort of aroma as well. There's definitely a sweetness in there. Not necessarily, you don't necessarily pick up cream soda, but you are definitely picking up a sweetness and that vanilla sort of aroma, and it smells quite inviting. So I'm giving it 13 for aroma. Appearance wise, well, it does look like a lager, a pale ale to some extent. Not much head, although there's some nice sort of frothiness of the glass. It's quite light and yellowy, but with a, you know, there's a little bit of a haze on it, but pretty much it's quite clear and clean looking. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour wise, when you first taste it, you think, yeah, it's a malty. It almost tastes more like a lager than even a pale ale. But there's this big wash and wave of cream soda flavour. There's no sort of like, oh, it's sweet or it's vanilla. It's cream soda. There's definitely that cream soda flavour in there. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a quick look at it, whether it's infused with a classic flavour of sweet vanilla ice cream. That's what it says. But I mean, it's well balanced, that flavour. There's a nice little bit of carbonation on there. It's quite light and thin. It doesn't go really creamy in terms of its mouthfeel. It's still quite light and pale ale lager-esque sort of in terms of its body. But it certainly is a nice change. I think if you had a few of these, it'd get a little bit too sweet. But as a one-off drink, it's pretty good. It's a nice palate cleanser. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's definitely a drink for the summer, but it's a really enjoyable and something different. Sometimes these slightly weird things. I mean, it's not called a milkshake pale ale, but you know, you get those sort of milkshake pale ales and stuff like that, which have the vanilla in them, and they just can sometimes get really weirdly balanced and they don't work. But this is balanced really nicely. So I'm going to get 33 for flavour. Value for money. This can was £3.50, I think it was, from my local bottle shop. I think that's pretty good value. 4.5% pale ale, 440ml can. Yeah, I mean, it's quite local to me, but, you know, you want to support these local breweries, I'm giving it 9 for value, because I think it's good value for a pale ale from a bottle shop. And then my overall experience, well, I do like cream soda, and I have had other cream soda pale ales before, which I didn't really like. But this one is definitely much, much more palatable. It's very light. The cream soda is quite strong. It's not. There's no subtleties of cream soda. There's no taste in this and going, oh, there's something slightly different about this. What is it? Straight away, you know this tastes like cream soda. It almost tastes more cream soda with a slight beer flavour than beer with a slight cream soda flavour. But I like it. I don't think I'd want to drink too many of them because it is very, very sweet. But I'm giving it 13 for my overall experience. Totting those scores up, we get a very respectable and a recommended 75 out of 100. So it's a good review it's a good, well-reviewed beer. And as I said, I'm sure I have had this before, because I remember having one years and years ago. I think someone bought me some craft beer, and one of them was this. And I thought, I'd really like to try that again. Never seen Glen Affric. I wasn't sure it was Glen Affric, but I did have a feeling it was somewhere fairly local. So it probably was. But this is a rebrew. It's brand new. It's just been released. But it's a good beer. Again, drink it in the summer to get maximum enjoyment from it. But I liked it. 75, something a bit different. Job's a good one. So hope you've enjoyed that review. And until the next one, please like it if you like the content. A little bit of Liverpool history that I gave there. You know, I'm sure there'll be people already screaming, telling me I'm talking absolute rubbish. But, you know, look it up on the internet. The internet never lies, remember? And if you like that sort of stuff, then give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Is thumbs down still actually on the YouTube? I'm not sure. I think they may have got rid of it. But anyway, comment below what you think is the true meaning of Scouse and Scouser. And until the next one, keep on rocking.